love it or hate it. Do you have a hard time arguing guesses games? Open world survival, for a game Deadly Premonition, has not inspired a lot of strong feelings in the years since its 2010 debut. Much of that is due to the influence of the game's director, Hidetaka Swery, a hero who since left Access and gone on to help create similarly impactful games like For Dark Dreams Do Not Die and The Missing J. McField and The Island of Memories. Way back at DD 2011, Swery took the stage when Deadly Premonition fever was at its peak to talk through his game design process, laying out 7 concrete steps you can take entering to create appealing characters and narratives. It's the kind of talk you go to DD for. One of those rare opportunities to catch an interesting game maker earnestly explaining their creative process. And now you can watch it completely free on the official DD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events. And the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault, already have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via the DD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office or company by contacting staff via the THEGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Things are starting to feel crowded as more and more companies try to pitch their Netflix for games, cloud-based streaming services. But Microsoft says the experience it's gained through its X branch gives it a potential leg up on the competition. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella spoke to Business Insider and other publications earlier this week on the subject of the game streaming service, Project Cloud. The company announced late last year, saying that both its X dealings and its growing list of Microsoft-owned and published games play Project in a strong position. We have a structural position in that we have both a console business as well as a PC business, which happens to be bigger than the console business when it comes to gaming, he said. As mentioned by Business Insider, Nadella also called out his experience with X-Live and the company's history of synergy between its Windows and X video game branches through things like its X Play Anywhere program. We have as much a shot to build a subscription service as anybody else. Microsoft's Project Cloud aims to, like many others in the cloud-based game service space, let people play video games on demand from a variety of platforms, while the actual game is being hosted on a remote machine. The goal is to launch the service with the capability to stream games on 4G networks, ideally opening PC and X1 only games up to players that primarily use mobile phones to play games. Other companies have dabbled in the same kinds of projects, with Google notably testing its Project Stream service that can stream AAA games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey through a Google Chrome browser window. Verizon and Amazon are also rumored to have their own game streaming services in the works, though official details on both are still scarce. Newsbrief: Rocket League is the latest game to be added into the PlayStation Cross-Play beta program. An addition that comes after years of Sony's reluctance to offer the feature to multiplayer games. Players still have the option to toggle cross-platform play on or off from Rocket League's gameplay settings, but the feature is flipped on by default. Psyonix's rocket-powered spin-on soccer is just one of several games that have offered limited cross-platform playing for some time, in large part due to the fact that Sony was reluctant to let players on the PlayStation 4 team up with a match against those on competing consoles. The company changed its tone recently, and openly admitted that it took a little too long to make that decision. First allowing Epic Games, Fortnite, to let its PlayStation 4 players compete and team up with friends on X1 and Nintendo Switch, before slowly opening the feature up to other developers. Do you have a deep and abiding interest in classic games? The Dragoon series, the Sega Saturn, are all of the above. THENGAME Developers Conference 2019 organizers have good news for you. Panzer Dragoon designer Yukio Futatsugi and artist Kentaro Yoshida, two Japanese game industry veterans, who now work together at Grounding, will be at GDC in March to discuss designing and developing the Panzer Dragoon series on Saturn. This is a very special classic game post-mortem, because you get two speakers on not one but three games discussed in depth. The original Panzer Dragoon, which was Futatsugi as a game designer, as well as its follow Panzer Dragoons 1 and the Rock Panzer Dragoon Saga, neither of which have ever been publicly deconstructed like this. It promises to be a fascinating hour-long deep dive into the conception, development, and design of a seminal series, one that played a huge role in the life of the Saturn. Even if you are not interested in the history and the stories, Futatsugi and Yoshida believe that some of the lessons learned in struggling with the cutting-edge hardware that was the Sega Saturn can still be put to good use in the modern age of game development. For more information on this session and others, make sure to check out THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, RSS. Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Today marks the last day for the Wise built-in digital marketplace, and anywhere games that were available exclusively through the storefront. As previously announced, January 30th is the final day the store will remain open for business. It's a shutdown that has been looming for some time. Nintendo first announced plans to close the digital store down back in September 2017, noting at the time that it would end the sale away points in March 2018 and take the store offline for good at the end of January. It's been roughly 12 years since both the Wii and the Wii Shop channel launched, and the shutdown takes the Wise, and, by extension, the Wii emulator built into the Wii's, WiiWare, and Virtual Console stores offline as well. For the time being, Wii and Wii U owners will still be able to re-download any WiiWare, including games on other channels, and Virtual Console games that were purchased ahead of today's shutdown. But Nintendo has said that it plans to end that service and support for the Wii to Wii U transfer tool at an undetermined point in the future. Today also brings the final day of the Wii streaming video support, as quietly announced just a few months ago. Services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Instant Video will no longer function on the Wii, On January 31st, that end of service comes as its current generation system. The Nintendo Switch still lags behind other consoles in terms of video streaming offerings. Video Game Deep KC's weekly newsletter from video game industry watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra Code Runner, rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include a multitude of best-of lists of the top games of the year from the individual through group roundups to individual highlights, and there's also pieces on the current, the Outer Worlds Atlas, and the classic Next History, the quarter century of digital extremes, among others. Happy holidays to you and yours, by the way. Hope you are having a wonderful one with a little time off to click on links about video games.